Blessings, everyone. Greetings from Inner Light Ministries. So glad to have you with us today. Our weekly virtual offering. I'm Rev D, Reverend Deborah Johnson, and I invite you to just be present. Just be present. Take a couple of deep breaths. Today, we're going to be getting into the subject of believing in ourselves. Believing in ourselves. And we take this moment right now to just pause, to open up wide, to let go of all of the things that have been vying for our attention and pulling on us. We pause in this moment to create a sacred space. We consecrate this time for awareness, for growth, for healing, for deep remembrance, for connection, for a community, for lowly listening. I know that each and every person gets exactly what it is that they need. It's no accident that we are here. Now, in fact, let's put up the purpose statement and just remind what it is that binds us all together. Even if this is your very first time, you've heard a call. And it goes something like this: that Inner Light is an open, diverse, inclusive community of individuals and organizations dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for activating higher possibilities by applying universal spiritual principles to all circumstances. Our aim is personal and global healing through the omni faith energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. Promoting life's sacred interconnectedness, we embody spiritual oneness, appreciate individualized expressions, and honor all paths that lead to spiritual justice, that lead to spiritual truth, justice, and ecological regeneration. But just breathe that in. Breathe that in for a moment. Yes. And as we do, we just remember that we come here for a purpose. We come here for a reason. As it mentioned, that there are these tools that we give. And one of the tools is affirmative activations. They are 100 words, exactly 100 words every week to help us recalibrate. They are principles and practices and paradigms. They are ways of presenting ourselves in the world. And as they come upon your screen, I am going to invite you to say them along with me. Transcendent awareness silences inner critics. As I sojourn through life, I am compassionate with myself. I'm courageous enough to embrace all of my life. There's no value in judgment, blame, guilt, or shame. So-called mistakes keep paving the way for unimagined blessings. I see diamonds I thought were just rocks. No more striving for unsustainable highs or running from life-altering lows. Standing in the and, I acknowledge the yin and the yang of all things. As I grow and know there's room to reflect and reset. Living my highest self, I redirect my energy towards purpose and intent. So just breathe that in. Breathe it in. Notice if there's anything that's calling out to you. Something that you're just really, really resonating with. I see diamonds I thought were just rocks. As I sojourn through life, I'm compassionate with myself. Just notice. Maybe there's something that's putting you on a growing edge, making you stretch a little bit. Like standing in the and, I acknowledge the yin and the yang of all things. Or there's no value in judgment, blame, guilt, and shame. Just notice. I want to invite you to take a screenshot if you're on a computer. Even if you're on a phone, you might want to actually take a photo of this. You'll find it on our website. It'll also be on our YouTube in the archives. This is just to expose you to it, but the value is in the repetition. When you come back and repeat it and let it embody inside of you. Even if you just choose like one particular line and focus on that, it will make a huge, huge difference in your life. You just breathe that in. So today we're going to be talking about believing in ourselves. And there's just a really sweet song that's a little conversation between ourselves and the divine that I think really helps set the stage in our hearts for what it takes for us to just keep believing in ourselves. It's a new offering by Alicia Keys and John Legend.
You still believe in me, Lord, even when I don't believe in me. I wandered far from where you stayed, chasing dreams that slipped away. But every time I lost my peace, your grace was there, surrounding me. You never shouted, never blamed. You spoke my heart back to its name. Even in my quiet fall, you kept believing through it all. You saw the light I couldn't see. You called my name so patiently. Even when I turned aside, your mercy stood and never died. You still believe in me, through every doubt, through unbelief. You lift me when I lose my way. You remind me love won't fade away. You still believe in me, when I forget who I should be. Your hands still reach, your eyes still see. You still believe in me. I've watched you wade through all my storms, still covering me, keeping me warm. When my prayers were lost in fear, you whispered softly, I'm still here. You never kept a list of wrongs, you only sang redemption song. You stayed when I could barely breathe. Your faith in me kept holding me. Your love became my gentle guide. When all my strength had run dry, you took my shame and made it new, and said, my child, I still see you. You still believe in me when I can't find the words to speak. You see the light inside my scars. You call me whole just as you are. You still believe in me when I'm too weak to stand or see. You never change, you never leave. You still believe in me. Oh, I fail yet you stay close. My grace remains, that's how love grows. I hide my face, you lift my chin. I see my child not bound by sin. I lost my way, forgot your name, yet my heart for you's the same. Through every tear, through every plea, Lord, you still believe in me. You still believe. You still believe in me. When morning light begins to rise, your mercy wakes before my eyes. No accusation, no demand, just gentle truth within your hand. You see beyond the fear I hide. You see the soul you sanctify. And every breath that I receive is proof you still believe. You still believe in me. Through every night of unbelief, you hold my heart when I let go. You love me more than I can know. You still believe in me. Your grace restores what I can't see. Even when I fall asleep, you're near. You still believe.
Just breathe that in. Such a beautiful, beautiful ballad. You know, and as we listen to that, and we just let ourselves feel into that, because whether we've articulated that or not within our own lives, we've all experienced that. We've all experienced this grace of the divine that just keeps believing in us, holding us, showing up, providing for us. But here's the thing. The reason why it's happening isn't just some like charity to us or like pity to us. It is instructive. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. That it's the great I am, however you conceive it to be, life itself is modeling what to do. It's modeling what to do. It's not engaged in all these things for our worship and our praise. And not like, oh, look at me, what a good provider I am. You know, look at me, how non-judgmental I am. It's not about that. It's holding a mirror up to us of reflection. It says, I see you, and this is who you truly are. And one of the letters in my book, The Sacred Yes, where it's talking about us being, how we can be judgmental. And it particularly is an admonition to religious institutions, to churches. And it said that it was talking about mirrors and how a mirror can only reflect what it sees. And it speaks out against the danger of us looking to see ourselves mirrored through the eyes of other people, places and things. Like we look in our eyes for the reflection back to who it is that we are, like getting our sense of validation and purpose and affirmation from them. So, but a mirror can only reflect back what it can see. And what you get back is also a reflection of the quality of the mirror itself. Okay. The mirror itself and its capacity. It was explaining that too often churches, religious institutions said they put funhouse mirrors at their front door. Like you go into like a haunted house or something like that, or carnival. It says you have these funhouse mirrors that distort. They take one particular aspect of a person and then exaggerate that way out of proportion. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that to people. And it was warning all of us and saying, don't look for the truth of your being in the eyes and the reflection of people, places, and things, because they cannot see you. They can't see you. A mirror can only reflect back what it can capture. And no person, place, or thing has the capacity to capture the fullness of who you are. Only the divine. Only the divine can do that. Only the divine can see that. Only the divine can reflect back to you who you are. So when we're feeling lost and we're feeling down and we're trying to figure out like who we are, where do we go from here? Where are our next steps? What's our value? What's our worth? What's our purpose? We need to turn within. Okay. We need to turn to the divine. We need to turn to something that's transcendent of all of this other stuff that's going on in the world. Take a breath. Okay. You hear me say all the time that the universe wastes nothing. Nothing. It's like a big old compost pile that just takes everything, even the crap. It turns into manure. Okay. It turns into fertilizer. It turns the manure into fertilizer so that it becomes something that's a blessing to whatever it is that's next. We lay into too much judgment about what's good, what's bad. And we're busy trying to separate those things out and to distance ourselves, to ignore it, to cut it out, to hide it, to be in denial about it, feeling like it doesn't belong. Like some smear or something, like it doesn't belong, and we're just trying to get rid of it. Don't try to get rid of the stuff in your life. Don't try to get rid of your past. Don't just try to get rid of your so-called problems. No. The reason why we're trying to get rid of that stuff is because we believe that they have to be gone before we can be who it is we're supposed to be. Listen to what I'm saying. It's as though our ego self needs permission It just needs permission. So, from where are we trying to seek the permission? There's an organization that I've been working with for, I guess, a couple of years now. And I help I help them what they call these well-being circles. They are an international group, got hit really hard with all of the funding cuts, um, down from $1 billion organization to like a third of that. Now they'd been in 60 countries doing all kinds of humanitarian work. So I do these sessions at all different times of the day, to be able to reach them in their various places. And these last couple of ones have been really just kind of like around self-care and what does that mean, and how do you do that? And one of the things that we were talking about was this idea of the permission, that sometimes we get in this idea that I'm too busy, taking time out, self-care, it's not being productive, or it's being selfish in some kind of way. We might feel guilty doing it. Well, how can I be happy now, or how can I take this time for myself when whatever my spouse is struggling, my kids are struggling, look at my bank account. I need to be taking every conceivable moment that I have to try to turn a buck. I can't just be happy right now, or do this whatever that I think is frivolous, or just pamper, like take care of myself some. And in our minds we're thinking that once we get someplace else, okay, once this thing is handled, once the situation is over, once this thing, that thing, then it'll be okay. Okay. So my permission structure is all of these other things have to happen first. No. Like the song that we were just playing, the permission structure is from the universe itself. It's from the universe itself, saying at all times, be kind to yourself. At all times, be gentle with yourself. At all times, be compassionate with yourself. At all times, be non-judgmental with yourself. You don't need anything else to happen. You don't. So what winds up going on is that we're putting our living on hold. On hold. Okay. Thinking that we can't go through because we don't have the finances. I can't go through. I'm alone. I'm doing this all by myself. This thing can't happen. I've got this, health condition, and I don't have the strength. I don't have the stamina. I didn't finish my education. I had a bankruptcy. This divorce wiped me out. I'm the sandwich generation, and I got to care for my kids and my ailing parents. Can't take any risks right now. I don't know what's going to happen, with this job. I messed up, before, so I just got to lie in my bed and deal with it. I wasted, I squandered. I had it once, but I can't get it again. Whatever these stories are, they are endless, in our minds. But each of these stories is this place of lack, of limitation, of why not us? Why not us? Okay. Why not now? And it isn't just the circumstances or the conditions. We begin to see ourselves, our own selves, as being inadequate, not enough, damaged goods, incapable, whatever that is. And it gives us the pass, a free pass not to try. Okay. It talk about the permission. It gives us permission to stay stuck. And remember, stuck is not a lack of motion, it's repetitive motion. Okay, the rut isn't that nothing's happening, it's that the same thing keeps happening. Take a breath. But this believing in ourselves can't be merit-based. Listen to what I'm saying. We live by grace. Grace. God's provision for us just because. You can't earn it. Okay, you can't earn happiness. You can't earn joy. You can't earn it. There's nothing that you can do that's going to make your life worthy of being alive. There's nothing that you can do that will say, okay, it's okay for you to be creative. It's okay for you to be able to be loved. No, it's the grace. It just is. The universe isn't doling stuff out because you're good or you're bad. It's all there. It's like a river that's flowing. And do you show up with a bucket or a thimble? You know, are you prepared to participate? It's always going on. It's always going on. There's no stopping. There's no starting. That's part of what I love about the ocean. That ebb and that tide, those waves, they come in and they pull back. They come in and they pull back. Every moment of every day. Since the beginning of time. Wow. Doesn't skip a beat. There's not 1 minute where it's not happening. It doesn't care if there's war or not war, or who's in the White House or not, or what your finances are or not, or who's occupying the land, or, you know, what's going on. It just, this steady rhythm, this steady beat that just keeps going on, and it just keeps happening. It's not changing what it is. It's not being reactionary. It just is. It's like a pulse. It's like a heartbeat. Okay? We're literally made that way. We're literally made that way. Just like you have lungs, okay, that just keep breathing. Okay, you have hearts that just keep beating. Now, yeah, we know that there are external things that can come in and they can interfere and whatnot. But I'm saying that by divine design, you don't have to make your heart beat. Okay? You don't have to make your lungs breathe. It's happening. The air that you need to breathe was provided for you. The air was there before you needed to breathe it. Just soak that in. All we have to do is just say yes. Our job is not the provision side. As it says in the sacred yes, a miracle is where your deep intent meets my inexhaustible supply. The universe has the inexhaustible supply. We just have to show up with the intent. But here's what happens. We don't even let ourselves get into a deep enough intent about something until we can identify the supply. Like, where is it going to come from? So I don't even develop a deep enough intent about having more adequate housing because I can't see how that's going to happen. I can't figure out the finances. So I don't even have that as an intent anymore. I can't see where I'm going to be able to get the time or the money or the resources or whatever to go back to school. Okay. So getting that degree, getting that certification in that particular field, I don't even really set an intent on that because I can't see how it's going to happen. I don't really set the intent on having the relationship because, oh, I'm old, I'm injured, I'm this, I'm that. I can't tell you how many elderly people I know are getting married or in relationships. And I just look and say, go on with your bad self. It's like, okay. Hey, if you can do that at 80 something, I know there's something good waiting out there for me. All right. Um, it's just a question of giving ourselves a permission. Just giving ourselves permission. I remember both of my on both sides of my family. My mother's father got married again. He was married for 40 years. My grandmother died young when she was in her early 60s. He was widowed for like 20 something years. And then he got married again in his early 80s. And I can remember my mother and her sister like, oh, Daddy, your age, you don't need a wife, you need a nurse. And he got the last laugh. He married a retired nurse who really took care of him. My father's mother, 2 25-year marriages. Okay. And after they were both gone, she's in her 80s and she's having her male callers and her male pursuiters and go on with your bad self. Okay. It's that Do you believe in you? Okay, do you believe, or have you taken yourself out of the game? Have you taken yourself out of the race? Okay. The universe will work with anybody. Anybody. I um I love doing prison work. And the last time that I was in a prison was, I don't know, I think like in the summertime. And I went in with another group to Soledad prison, and it was all about life as art, these art projects. It was just extraordinary, where the men were painting. They all had the same winged heart. It's like a paper mache, and they got to painting, and then there was journaling stuff, and they did their stories about it. A couple of months ago, there was an exhibit of all of this from the state of California. They're different from different prisons at in Salinas at the like the city hall thing there. It was just beautiful, beautiful. My God, the artwork that these guys were doing. And there was one guy who was in there whose work was being shown. And he actually was somebody who had been in one of the programs and whatnot that I had seen. And there were also pictures of him in this program that they have of training dogs to be companion dogs. And they weren't necessarily being trained for like being seeing eye dogs or whatnot, but these companion service animals. And he was telling his story. He was telling his story, and it was, some of the what you might call classic stuff, getting mixed up in drugs and gangs, and he admitted straight up that he had been involved in a murder situation. He hadn't like pulled the trigger, but he was involved with it, and wound up doing 20 years for that. And it was in prison that he discovered the art. It was in prison that like he discovered the animals and this graciousness of heart in which he was speaking. Okay. Now, he could have lived in the guilt and the shame of that. Okay. He could have continued to say, oh, well, this is my story, and this is who I've been, and God doesn't love me, or the universe doesn't love me. He had to give himself the permission. Okay, we're waiting for life or other people to say that we're okay, to tell us that now is our time, waiting for their like forgiveness. You have to give it to you. You have to give it to you. If you've lost something or you felt like you squandered it, okay, that's just one avenue. That's all that it is. Okay, it was that inheritance, but that's not all of the wealth of God. So you messed up that relationship. Okay. But that doesn't mean that there's no more love. So you might not have gotten that degree or whatever, but the stuff is within you. It's within you. Michael Jackson, like maybe the greatest musician and songwriter and all of that of like the 20th century, or at least like way, way up there at the top. He didn't read music. He didn't study. He didn't read music. Okay. I remember hearing that on a show from Lionel Richie, who also doesn't read music. And he was saying how he had that in common with Michael Jackson and the conversations that they had had about that. He didn't need to read music. He just had to be the music. Okay, just be it. Whatever it is, be it. Believe in yourself. I'm reminded of a story, and I'm sure I've told this before, but it's just like right in front of me, where there was an associate of mine. This was years ago. And she would paint oil paintings, like these really big, beautiful oil paintings. And I said to her one day in a counseling session, I said, "Are you an artist?" And she said, "Oh, well, you know, I don't make a living as an artist." I said, "I didn't ask you if you made a living as an artist. I said, are you an artist?" And then she went on, "Well, you know, I've never really had like any shows or exhibits or." I said, "That isn't what I asked." I said, "Are you an artist?" And this kept going on. And then finally, I just did like this. And I pointed to one of her paintings that was hanging in that room. And I just said, I said, "Are you an artist?" And then she had to think about it and just said, "Well, yeah, yes, I'm an artist." It's like, yeah, of course. Of course you are. It isn't the painting that makes you an artist. You paint because you are an artist. You paint because you are that. If we're waiting for the evidence of it, it's like you're a dancer, not because you dance. You are a dancer because you love dance. And you let the dance come through you. So it becomes like this chicken or the egg. Okay, do I wait until I've had some lessons and I feel good enough about myself in contrast and comparison to other people that I think are good dancers? Okay. When I feel like I'm on their level, will I then allow myself to say that I'm a dancer? It's the other way around. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. Take a breath. You have nothing to prove. And no one to prove it to. Don't take yourself out of the game. The stuff that I'm saying about us personally, on the individual level, is also true of us collectively. Okay, on the larger level, it's the exact same thing. Like so many of us are like holding our breath, trying to see if our democracy is going to hold up. Okay. Like if it survives all of this abuse and all of these attacks on its institutions and its rule of law and all the rest of that, that then we'll know that it was strong enough to make it. It's the other way around. We have to believe. We got to believe. We got to know. I've said a couple of times recently, if the democracy falls, the autopsy is not going to read tyranny. It's not going to read autocracy, oligarchy, the billionaires running everything, a few elite people trying to control everything. It's not going to read theocracy, that certain religious beliefs were just coming in and dumb. I'm not saying that all those are not playing a part. But if it falls, the autopsy is going to read doubt. That's what it's going to read. Doubt. That we stopped believing. We stopped believing. Don't do that. I'm asking you with all my heart to not just believe in yourself, but to believe in us. To believe in us as human beings. To believe in our capacities to heal, to transcend, to be redeemed, in our ability to turn the page, to repent, to find our way back, to correct, to remember who it is that we are. Okay. Just like the song that we listened to. And it was this giving thanks for how God just kept believing in us. And I'm asking us to do that for ourselves and with each other. Keep the light on. Keep the porch light on. Keep the clock tower light on. Keep the watchtower, light on. The light, so that the people out at sea can know, where to come in, where's the harbor. Just keep the light on. And go towards the light in this incarnation, not just on the other side of the veil. Keep going towards the light. Let's take a breath. Let's turn within, huh? Oh, how great thou art. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto us, and great is our faithfulness, Lord, unto thee. One heart, one mind, one planet, one people. Made in your image and your likeness. Thank you for believing in us, for sharing your co-creative capacities and abilities with us. Thank you for providing no matter what, for being all needs met, for showing up as food and clothing and shelter, for being divine order and right action, healing in the body temple, bills being paid in just mysterious ways, provision beyond anything that we can possibly imagine. We say thank you. Thank you for the compassion, for the healing of relationships, for reconciliation, for the amends, for the forgiveness that is extended to us and that we're able to extend to each other. We give thanks for the divine order, that right action, that it all coming together in ways that we can't even understand. Giving thanks for the sovereignty of the divine, transcendent of everything that's going on. We do not make a God out of people, places, and things. Oh no. There's only one God. And in it, we are living and moving and having our being. So in this moment right now, we give ourselves permission to be one with the one, to be in that divine partnership, to have the divine expressing itself in, through, and as us every moment of every day. We offer ourselves up as the hands, as the eyes, as the ears, as the mouth, as the hands, as the arms, as the feet. Whatever is needed, we show up and we say yes. We don't have to make it all happen. We just give our consent to allow it to happen in, through, and as us. What a pleasure it is to do the work of the divine, knowing that work done in praise is no work at all. So we breathe that in. And we're here for you. A spiritual community, we're in this thing together. Reach out. If you have a prayer request, reach out. We have prayer practitioners that are just waiting to help you, to support you. You'll see the information scrolling across your screen. You can give us a call at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can send us an email. The number 4, the word prayer, at innerlightministries.com. Nothing can. This isn't AI generated. It's like real people listening and responding back to you. You don't have to go it alone. And help us stand with you in agreement for the wonderful things. We're in it together. And so it is. So it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And this is our time of contribution, our time of conscious giving. This is that time of saying thank you, of giving ourselves permissions to be great givers in the universe. We don't make the supply. We're just part of it. We're part of that flow. Part of that flow. You'll see on your screen that there are a number of different ways in which you can make that contribution. You can use the QR code there, which will allow you to use PayPal or any debit credit card. You can do text to give at 831-231-0065. And virtually all of these have ways in which you can do a recurring option that I strongly, strongly encourage you to do. It makes all of the difference in terms of our planning and knowing the resources that we have to be able to go out and to make this word available, to do the healing and to do the programming that we do. Venmo and accounting use the same handle, accounting@innerlightministries.com. You might prefer Cash App. If you're on the website, you can just go there and donate, or mail it in to P.O. Box 1029, SoCal, California 95073. But regardless of the methodology, we know that every nickel, dollar, and dime, we know that it is going towards healing and growth and transformation. It comes from the one source, resourcing itself in, through, and as the work that we do. We know that our every act produces abundance, does not return to us void, but it is multiplied and returns to us 1,000-fold. Yes, indeed. So we thank you for spending this time with us. Please come back, share this message, like us in social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, as always, take this consciousness and multiply it. See you soon.